Go to Brandon Judd right now, the National Border Patrol Council president. Brandon, if we could go back to an issue I raised earlier, because it still sticks in my craw here. These trains that get in the United States, and they have a lot of migrants on them. A lot of them are whooping it up and cheering. But does anyone track them? In other words, that particular train, does anyone count how many get off, where they go, where they are right now?
So because they unload in Mexico, no, there's no government officials in Mexico counting how many people. We do have intelligence officers that are trying to do the best that they can to keep track of how many people, but there's no way to know specifically how many people are coming to our borders. They're going to disembark that train in Mexico. The cartels will then grab them. They will then disperse them across our entire southwest border, and then they will cross where the cartels want them to cross. All of this is dictated by organized crime. And organized crime is very good at generating a profit, at getting these people where they need to go in order to be able to cross and be able to make it into the United States.
And some of them get there and get a train to do it. And San Diego comes to mind. I guess what confuses me, though, with this whole process is the view we get is that it's getting better, that the numbers are getting more stable. But I look at the numbers, it appears just the opposite.
Neil, that is as far from the truth as anything. These numbers are astronomical. We're apprehending more than seven times what we should be at any given day. Yesterday is the first day in my 26-year time of being with the National Border Patrol Council that I didn't see one gotaway recorded by the Border Patrol. And that's simply because we don't have the resources in the field to detect these people. We're constantly stuck in processing. We're doing administrative duties rather than enforcement duties. So yesterday we didn't even record one gotaway, which should be concerning to everybody. When you look at the numbers, we are way above anywhere where we should be. But the problem is that this administration, because they continue to ignore it, they're setting a new norm. Our norm should be 1,000 apprehensions a day. We're at 7,000 apprehensions, and that's what the new norm has now become. And that should be scary to everybody because we just don't have any Border Patrol agents that are in the field patrolling the border, doing what we should be to protect the American citizens. And that's what allows the drugs to come in as well. That's why we have so many deaths in the United States in drug overdoses.
You know, Brandon, what did you think of the Chicago mayor saying this hullabaloo over migrants and what they're doing in cities is a classic case of right-wing extremism? Don't listen to the right-wing extremist. I think he's all but saying, you, my friend, are a right-wing extremist.
You know, it makes me sick to hear this rhetoric. If Mayor Johnson truly cared about people, he would enforce the rule of law. He would go to this administration, and he has a large voice in the Democrat Party. He would tell this administration what they need to do is they need to start enforcing the laws on the border. They need to stop allowing people to come into the United States and get released into the United States. That is a decision by this administration. If they wanted to, they could hold people in custody. They could re-implement policies and programs that don't allow people to be released into the United States. That's the magnet that draws people. That's why cartels are so effective. They can go throughout the world, advertise their services, tell people that all they have to do is violate our laws, and they're still going to be released into the United States. And that's what Mayor Johnson refuses to recognize. If he would do that, this problem would go away. But we just don't have anybody from the Democrat Party that are in these cities or in the White House that wants to do what's right by the American people. And by the way, save migrants' lives as well.
I don't see the Mexicans doing much to alleviate this for us. The Mexican president, when he was with Joe Biden last month, was more or less saying, thank you for not building a wall. We'll work with the United States on this. We celebrate all the Mexicans who've come to the United States, didn't discern whether they got here legally or not. So does Mexico just talk a good game and just let us figure this out, or doesn't care whether we figure it out?
The Mexican government has no incentive to stop what's going on. When you look at the amount of money that is going into that country from all of these people, they have to spend money as they're making their journey up through Mexico. Then on top of that, when you look at the money that the criminal cartels are making off of the trafficking of these individuals, that money is going right back into the Mexican economy. When you look at the billions of dollars that these cartels are generating, that money is going back into the Mexican economy. The government of Mexico has no incentive to stop this. The only reason that President Trump was successful in getting the Mexican government to actually be true border security partners is because he's threatened tariffs that were greater than the amount of money that the cartels were able to generate and bring into the economy. But as long as those cartels are generating that money, and as long as we do not take action against the Mexican government for not stopping any of the crime that is taking place, the cartels are going to continue to rule. That money is going to continue to go into the economy, into the Mexican economy, and the Mexican government is going to continue to allow it to happen.
Brandon, it's amazing. We keep running around the same issue. Brandon Judd, the National Border Patrol Council President. Good seeing you again, my friend. Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.